Hello everyone, this is Heroes Trivia. Welcome back to our Subscriber Game Tournament Season 2 as we continue with our best 2 out of 3 finals here in Match 2 with Will Be Deed in the green versus King of Yen. Now since this is the second match, they are swapping side for the Gate Pass Siege battle, and Will Be Deed will be attacking now with King of Yen defending. And that means Will Be Deed will get the first ban and first pick, and things will get started off with Yuan Shao taken away. And that'll be followed with Xu Huang, Zhang Liao, Lu Bu, Huang Fusong, and Wu Tugu. So looking at the bans, the only thing that's really interesting here is the self-ban of Nanman generals from King of Yen, as he is the player who have shown to prefer these Nanman generals in all battles, even if it's a siege. And taking away Wu Tugu, which usually is his first pick, is quite interesting. Perhaps his read is that Will Be Deed might be snatching him with the first pick, but somehow I don't think that's likely. And looking at the first pick, we have He Man being picked up by Will Be Deed. I think he's trying to utilize the surprise attack ability to shield his units on the advance towards the gate. And that's pretty smart, because you can combine that with Hail of Arrows as a very powerful ability, especially against the Nanman generals, who tend to have lower health and lower armor. Then in response, we have Lady Zhurong picked, as King of Yen, like these Nanman generals, doesn't matter if he's on defense for a siege battle, elephants are still going to be coming. Then for bans, we have Cao Cao taken away from Will Be Deed, makes sense, and the answer of Meng Huo being taken away from King of Yen, which means you can't have the Power of Love combo with Lady Zhurong. That does mean Yan Baihu is open, and Will Be Deed is letting King of Yen pick that up here. Very strong pick because of the stock capabilities and also the poison arrow repeat from match 1. And in response, Zhou Yu is selected for his foresight, so no more invisible stock and snipe poison arrow shenanigans from King of Yen. Then the last bans, we have Kong Rong and Wen Chou taken out. Kong Rong to take away the very efficient long-range Furies of Beihai, which are very good on defense given their 250 range, very fast attack speed, and also cheap cost for a crossbow unit. And then Wen Chou taken away probably to protect the elephants, because of the roar ability does hurt elephants which have a base morale of just 34. And that leaves us open for the final pick, which is done blind by both sides, and we see the flex into Zhang Fei by Will Be Deed, which is very interesting, because Lady Zhurong is unbreakable, but Yan Baihu is not. It is still very hard to imagine using that one roar just to trade against Yan Baihu, because you have to do it pretty early, which is difficult to do for the attacking side of a siege, and hopefully you're trading Zhang Fei into more than one general. And it's also hard to chase down generals who are morale shocked in a siege battle, because they tend to run back into the settlement, and you can't actually chase them with a cavalry unit, which is usually how you take care of them on land battles, so that's going to be very tricky as well. And looking at King of Yen, he opted into Sha Mo Ke, which is another Nanman general, but he is unbreakable. So Lady Zhurong and Sha Mo Ke are both unbreakable. That is just a very good answer to Zhang Fei, even though he doesn't know Zhang Fei's picked. And their problem are, they both have only 25k health, and they don't have any super powerful abilities that they can rely on. So it's going to be interesting to see if the general battle comes out even, since Zhou Yu is picked. Even though he has double health, he has half attack speed. So we'll see how the strategists might weaken Will Be Deed's side versus how things will play out with Zhang Fei. Maybe he will just be targeting units, run into the elephant and roar them to rout them. And looking at both sides, you have the potential for trebuchets from Zhou Yu, and the defense is actually very aggressive with the Nanman general. So maybe we'll even see a forward deployment by King of Yen instead of sitting inside with the elephants, which feels kind of useless inside of a siege settlement. So let's hop over to the load screen and take a look at what units are brought on these generals. And starting on offense, looking at Will Be Deed setup, it's actually super strange. We don't have any fire arrows, and we don't have any siege weapons. As a matter of fact, we don't have any range whatsoever. There are 6 units of an unbreakable Yellow Heralds. There are 2 Handmade Guards, 2 Tiger Guards, which are the only unit that have turtle formation. We have 2 Peasant Raider for Zhang Fei as cavalry units, and 3 units of the Protector of Heaven, which is the solution to picking any of the Shu generals because they don't have good units, so you go with something more premium. It's an interesting roster of units for a siege attacking side because without any siege weapons or any range whatsoever, it's an uphill climb into getting inside the settlement. But perhaps his read is that he thinks King of Yan is going to be charging out of the settlement and fighting on the field, so perhaps he opted for things that are more useful in land battle. But King of Yan just need to look at this composition during deployment, since defense have sight of offense, and decide to just stay inside. You don't have to charge out if you don't think you can win. So super risky. There's no plan B for this composition. I think surprise attack and charge forward, maybe use the ram, break the gate, try to flood in, use the siege tower to get a flanking angle. It's going to be difficult. Then looking at King of Yan's side, he definitely did go for an offensive build. I think the plan is to charge out and fight. We have 7 units of the wolf pack, which are only good during charges. We have 2 units of the bandit cavalry for Yan Bai Hu. So no poison arrow this time, as you can't be as passive and stretch out the match when you're on defense. And we have 2 elephants and 1 follower of the flame. So very aggressive compositions from both sides. Lack flexibility for the offense, so I'm a little concerned for WBD's composition. But let's see how they played out on the battlefield. Alrighty, looking at the deployment, we have a pretty standard setup. The army's right outside of the tower range. Looks like the Tiger Guard has deployed into Turtle. Not really going to matter because they're going to have to tank up these shots. Seems like we have units pushing the tower and the ram. It'll be interesting to see if there's any usage of the trebuchet and the crossbow to burn down the siege tower and ram. It will take a lot of shots. I think for a single trebuchet, it's like 10 shots to burn it. It's very difficult. The best weapon against these siege weapons, actually the oil arrows from Defender of Earth. They burn them really fast, but that's not present on both sides. So we'll see how that plays out. You have some forward deployment of the wolf pack right outside the gate to halt any attempt to ram it, perhaps sacrifice them. It's going to work well because there's no range punishment on this side. So it's going to be an uphill fight. We have poison volley ready to go. Units on the inside, defensive positions, some backup cavalry. It looks like Elephant wants to do a side charge once they come in. But maybe they'll just go outside actually. Let's see how this goes. So Generals comes out. Let's see if there's an early surprise attack to deny the poison volley, because you need to actually target them. No. Ooh. Ooh. Well, it's not the generals, it's these units, right? These 4 units here who got scratched are going to take pretty massive damages. I don't know why the surprise attack's not used. As you can see, one shot's only 10%. It does take quite a while. It's doable. 3% from the crossbows. Got the javelins once again. I don't understand why the surprise attack's not used. It can just make all the units invisible for that minute to cover a lot of this ground without charging in. The generals can retreat back. And I think this is going to go down burnt. Oh, that missed. That's unfortunate. It's going to be hard to ram the gate if their units are right here. They should just abandon the turtle. There's no point to have the turtle at this point. The tower's not even targeting them. They're just slower. The poison ticks. I mean, Yamahu was going to prepare for another one. Yeah, they can't push. Once there's contact, they abandon the machine automatically. Even though they're unbreakable, they can't push the machine up. Okay, maybe it's not going to burn, but there's quite a bit of damage on it already. It might make it. We'll see. Ooh, did Jumpy get tricked to follow in? Because there's a gate bug that does happen. Oh, he's trapped. Oh, that's unfortunate. Get out. Get out. Can you get out? Low morale. No, Jumpy. Oh. That's just really unfortunate. That's super unfortunate. Oh my god.
手段也来献丑。
Yeah, the chase command at gates are very tricky, which was something that Deed probably could have done last match as well with Torrent. If anyone does chase you and you drag them in, then they're just absolutely decimated. And yeah, Zhang that is really bad. Oh, it did burn. Oh, they did land though. The units inside are not hurt from the fire. You just can't use this siege tower anymore, so no more units can use it to climb. But the first group did make it. Interesting. There was a wolf pack here that was prepared for the defense. Now it's just to climb up. Oh, the ram did eventually make it. 3 hits, let's go in. This is a waste of the arrow. I don't understand why the arrow are not targeting the generals. Like, there's no point. Once they finish firing, they're done. Alright, we see a poison volley coming out, pretty sure. Maybe not. Alright, the gates are open. There are still a lot of quality infantry left. The generals are a little bit lopsided, but we'll see. Oh, they're chasing the general? Right, so they didn't charge into this unit. And I don't know how that will go. Yeah, there's no charge command being issued. They're told to go inside instead of charge. There we go, finally. Alright, there we go. Now the thing is, I don't know if they can break through this. Alright, we're gonna have to have some really good hit of arrows. Okay, we do have that. See, surprise attack is used now for no reason, just damage boost. The handmade guard is trying to get here for providing a bit of damage resistance. We got the dismount of the Naman generals. Kaman is trying to get out. Oh, it's too late. His morale. There was a roar. There was a 1 roar ability, but it's more than that. It's damage taken. Yeah, only the unbreakable units are probably gonna stay. The elephant's gonna trade pretty well into those Protector of Heaven, unless they're actually braced. Here comes elephants. Alright, Zhou Yu's dead, and we have a surrender. Right, so yeah, so that's our final. Will Be Deed goes down 0-2, and King of Yen is the winner of our Season 2 Subscriber Game Tournament. Congratulations to him. Now, there's a couple caveats to this match. There was a previous match played in this setup that had King of Yen's Zhuo bugged out on the field, where she just could not move. And in that one, Will Be Deed did win, but he was gracious enough to offer a replay since she did bug out. And this is the replay match with both sides using the same units. Obviously, elements of surprise ruined and different strategies might be implemented. I didn't watch the first replay of that match, even though I do have it. The result, obviously, being what it is, I don't think you can blame it entirely on the replay factor. Having Zhang Fei into this composition is not going to be as effective no matter what, because Yan Baihu is the only general that you can route. Having King of Yen pick Naman so many times and not really get punished for it, I feel like it's a weird situation. I feel Deed's drafts for these two games are very interesting. I don't think they're very good choices for siege battles. When you know the enemy have Naman unit in this case, why not go with fire arrows? They all take extra damage from fire. They all are shieldless. Elephants are scared of that too. And you're fighting a range battle where if you go Onyx Dragons, for example, on Zhou Yu, since you did bring strategists, you can at least take out the towers. You can force them back. If they charge you in the field and the units clump up, then Zhang Fei has even a better shot at getting a bunch of units. Obviously, Zhang Fei getting overchased into the gate situation is just extremely unfortunate. You could even call it a bug as well. I mean, Total War games with the gate opening and closing, allowing units in and out, has been an issue in every game. It's not something that's illogical. I mean, if you overchase when it's open, they close it on you, you are stuck inside. That makes perfect sense. It's not like you're phasing through the door. That is just something that can happen. You just have to be aware of it. And Zhang Fei died before he was able to do much because all the javelins absolutely murdered him. A different situation between the Wolfpack and the Javelin Spear Guards. When you're in turtle formation with the Javelin Spear Guard and you're immobile, you don't fire well. But with Wolfpacks, they're not in a formation, so they can just stand still and shoot whoever comes in. Very good use of Nema units, elephants in particular. We've seen it over and over again from King of Yen. So it feels like just a lack of adaptation to it. The bans, you could actively ban out Wu Tugu and Zhurong pretty easily, especially since you have first pick, and perhaps you could have picked one yourself to basically set up the turtle formation with Javelin Spear Guard, which is very useful on this map. The counterplay, obviously, or at least the trend, Wu Tugu and Zhurong are the two top picks, and then Shamoke is a viable fourth. Meng Huo is probably never going to get picked by himself. He has 25k health, he doesn't have good abilities, he's unbreakable, so like he and Shamoke are close, but I don't think it's going to be that great of a pick in general. So you can probably force King of Yen onto some worse picks. But anyways, we have our result. Very quick match. A bit unfortunate, Zhang Fei dying just like that. And then at that point, without being able to use Hail of Arrows, I mean, there was just a lack of ability usage from the picks that Will Be Deed picked throughout the two matches. Not using heal enough, not using surprise attack, which I feel is super weird. When you pick a composition like this, and you're sieging into a city, your only chance is to surprise attack. So I don't understand why that was not used at the moment the match started. So that eliminates pretty much a whole minute where they can't aim at you. Poison volley can't hit you if they have no target. He has to come really close to first find a unit and then aim it, instead of being able to get a shot off from the gates. And the towers can't hit you, the siege weapons can't hit you, you close the gap, you get on the tower, you have your unbreakable unit go in and try to win the fight that way. The generals wait after the ram. They do have to clear those two Wolfpack, but if the units rush up, then that's definitely possible. Knowing elephants exist or potentially exist with King of Yen as your opponent and just bringing sheer amounts of infantry, it's not the best idea. So I think it's just a draft adaptation and maybe slight unfamiliarity with siege battles with the general ability usage. I think Cao played a role in that as well. Still congratulations to him getting second here. Slight improvements from his last year's result where he ended it in the round of 4. And we have our winner, King of Yen, for Season 2. Now, as for the future of tournaments on the channel, there is going to be obviously a Season 3 because we do it every time we hit a milestone. So when we hit 30k subscribers on the channel, we'll have our Season 3. In the meantime, there are talks of doing sort of Battle of Continent type of tournament, a small special tournament where we'll be inviting players who finish in the top 8 from the previous 2 seasons. So kind of like a tournament champions of sorts, where people will represent teams based on the continent either they are from or they're living in right now. And it'll be teams of 4 where we will do a point style matchup where there will be a 1v1 on land battle, 1v1 on siege battle, 2v2 on land battle, 2v2 on a siege battle, and a 4v4 on a land battle, where basically these teams will play each other in a round robin and come out with a point. So no elimination, just which team comes out with the most points and will be crowned the winner. and that'll be a fun tournament style that we can try in between these next two seasons, basically season 3. And also, there is also a community patch being worked on right now to try to balance the generals and units, cost-wise and stat-wise, for future tournaments, so we don't have to have some universal bans. The 4 generals that have been always banned feel bad to not use them, so there might be a patch that will come in before the next tournament that will be part of the tournament rules, where you basically have to install the mod in the form of the patch to play the tournament, where all the generals will be allowed to be picked and banned for the tournament process, but no universal bans. And that's something we're exploring as well. So lots of things to look forward to. I hope you all enjoy this tournament. It's a lot of fun to host and schedule these for the players. And it's nice to see a lot of returning faces, and hopefully we have new players and returning players next time. So until then, bye!